Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys. Uh, Hello. Okay. Let me check the live, how if it's running, if I hear something. And let's see. And okay, it's working. Okay, so let's draw now that I know the stream is on. So let's do what is this? Ouais, il faut appuyer fort. Voilà. Plus la gueule ce truc. I'm gonna open the YouTube on the phone. So this is both a little bit like a test, but also to see the chat and get used to this in case I push a bit more to do it. So maybe if some viewers come during the live stream, I can see if Let's put the arm on a separate layer. So this way I can change stuff more practically. So now I'm streaming and I'm gonna try to talk a little bit because later on it will be on the channel. So this is the like second and like more proper testing of streaming. As I said in the small video test for the first technical testing, there is the to bring something a little bit different to the channel that can interest me and maybe some of you. The idea is to do some drawing session streaming, and we can see what can I offer in terms of live sessions. What could be something that interests you? So if you watch later this streaming, then you can let me know by putting a comment. I will see that you have watched, but it would be nice if you can offer your feedback or your request, your ideas for making live streams. So here I'm doing a little bit of a simple composition just to warm up with this concept of streaming. Doing live drawing is something new for me. Recording is also a little bit new, but kind of slowly get used to it. But for live streaming, it's a bit different. It's indirect with the viewers, interaction. So I think the sword is a little bit big. I'm gonna redo the sword. It doesn't look like the lower part of the sword would fit with the lower part of the I think let's do some background. Mm, eh, okay, so transfer to the inferior layer. It's funny because you keep the layer, but the content of the layer goes to the lower layer. So this one keep your layer as a blank layer once you transfer the content to the lower layer. Okay, here I'm gonna do some background, something calm, something foresty. Maybe further away. So this is the shape of a lake, a pond, something like that. Maybe some roots. The tree. Maybe some rocks. Then we will have some grass. I'm curious to see how drawing live stream can create new connection opportunities and something different than just posting videos. Maybe more interactions and connection. I think some as artists we tend to be in our corners. We need it. We need to be in our space, but it can be also a little bit too much sometimes. So yeah, let's try just to see some it's like radio. You just talk and some people may listen or not. It doesn't if nobody listen, you use it like self-therapy or something. And if people come, then it becomes different. So we have a meditative night, focusing, going inward with his soul. His sword, maybe, no, let's keep it simple for now. And in the background I'd like to have something, I feel a little bit like something Mononoke like would be nice, but let's try something like maybe some old stairs. Let's do some kind of a statue here. So we have the same on the other side. Some perspective a little bit. So we need more animals with each step on the side. Maybe eagle. Fish. And to finish, we have a human figure. some plants growing. Some path going on here. We will do steps later on. So we okay. Same here, grass, some grass. Maybe let's put the grass around this level and some wall. Some old so I'm coming up with some basic ideas, some ruins. In the countryside, in France, if you walk in the countryside by forests and stuff. You can find sometimes some old walls, collapsed old house. It's not so rare to find some ruins. Some ruins are kind of famous and known. There's ruins of castles and old medieval buildings, but sometimes you can find in forest ancient walls, things like that. It's nice to discover that when you walk in the countryside. I use Clip Studio Paint if you wonder what software it is. I use a graphic tablet with a pen. In the countryside also there's many ruins of old farms, abandoned farm buildings, and sometimes it's quite beautiful buildings. Where I used to live in the Dordogne area in France, there was some ruins of old churches that were destroyed, maybe during World War II, and also old houses, and in a few of the woods there were ruins of some kind of little walls, maybe for the path, the old path that were used in the past, and that was they were going through the woods, this path. So sometimes you wonder what was it like before to be in those places before they were like depopulated and so on. So I'm gonna clean up a little bit the sketch. Here I'm gonna use a smaller eraser here, and just get a sense of the fabric for we see it's going all the way here. So I want to know what is necessary. Maybe keep a little bit more cape, and here a little bit less. Remove a little bit. See, you can draw a little bit with the eraser by removing. Okay, I start to get a little bit sense of the face. And make it a little bit more round here as the cape folds here a little bit also round. So now drawing a little bit again the character sketch. And then I will make a new layer. Here I can remove some of this. Here, a little bit. Okay, let's lower the opacity. And this one. So, what kind of inking? The J pen of Clip Studio is really good. It feels really great to draw on this. Gonna zoom a bit. Check the a little bit smaller J pen. If you have any question or comment, anything, you can use the chat, or if you just want to let me know you're there. So for this first live session, live stream, Not gonna try to do anything I'm not used to, and that would turn out not too well. So I'm just gonna stick to simple drawing that I know a little bit how to deal with. Do you guys watch anything fun nowadays? Any TV show or movies or anime? Today I watched the A Night of the Seven Kingdom, episode 5. Was really really good. I recommend it if you like fantasy and medieval TV shows. This is from the Game of Thrones franchise. It's also come from books written by George R. Martin. And I read the book on Dunk and Egg, and I like the fact that it's like a finished story. It's already like it's three adventures, so you don't have to, even if you don't know the Game of Thrones story, you can still read it as a standalone story and a separate spin-off kind of universe. So it's really cool. I made a big ears, a little bit big. Usually I'm more into line art. I like to become good at painting, digital painting, but I've grown up drawing with pencils and pen. Sometime during school, when I was bored. It's a classic, I guess, for artists to draw in the back of the classroom. Make him some kind of chainmail. The J pen is really nicely sensitive to pen pressure, so it's really feels like a good J pen. Or for me, when I work traditionally, there is one particular pen I like to use is from Japanese brand Zebra, and it's brush pen, and it has kind of like the feel of a J pen, but without the metallic feel of the nib. So I prefer this tool, but now I try to really just work digitally to really get my brain used to working only with the graphic tablets and digital brushes. So I get properly used to it. In the past, I used to go a little bit back and forth between traditional and digital. I would like draw traditionally, ink traditionally, and then do inking, shading, text with the computer and tablet. There are some contests for manga, if you're interested, that are going to they already started, but they are still running. So there is the Kadokawa contest. It stopped on the 31st of March. So if you like doing manga and you want to try a contest and to get some feedback, or just get just having an opportunity to make a manga story, to get the motivation to do it. Sometimes a contest can be a nice excuse, kind of, to take yourself a little bit more seriously for progressing. So there is the Kadokawa until 31st of March. Then there is another one, is called Silent Manga Audition. It finishes on the 10th of May, so you have more time for this one. So these are two manga you can look up on the web: Kadokawa Manga Contest and Silent Manga Audition. So this is for manga. And then you have illustration contests. I found one that is running until the 19th of April. It's called Dokomi X Minavi, Mynavi. and the theme is cute, kawaii. So you have to do 4 illustrations on the topic of cute, kawaii. Sensitivity of the J-pen is very good. You can do really, you see, very small. You don't have to change the brush size. And nowadays you can get cheap graphic tablets that are pretty good from the brands like XP Pen or Wiyong. So the tools, the graphic tablets now, it has really democratized. It's not so expensive, and there's many more brands and many more choices for many different budgets. It's really nice. Let's not forget the cape. One more here, and that's all right. Feels like drawing with butter with this J-pen. It's really smooth. It's really nice. Clip Studio is really cheap. If you're interested in getting Clip Studio, it's like when you get it on sale, the basic version is like yeah, €15, $15. So we have I go too much into details too soon, I think. So, gloves, no gloves, no gloves. So I'm gonna erase a little bit here to get the hand. So this hand is on the top. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the background. So let's have it like this. 1, 2 fingers, and then a little bit more closed, and the last one disappear in the back. Not too bad. And the end underneath, resting on the pommel of the. So this is the little finger, and I'm not happy with this one. You have to visualize what's underneath. So this one is like here. Yeah, we don't have to see everything since it's the. Okay. So I'm not too sure about the handle. Is it handle we say in English? Go a little bit for a little bit of strong shading. And then not too regular, a little bit some texture to the line art, some gaps, a little bit, keep it granular, a little bit rough, not too perfect, as I like to repeat. If it's too clean, if the line art is too clean, then it becomes yeah, plasticky. I like to call it plasticky, like yeah, plasticky. So this is the, then I need to learn some English medieval vocabulary. Let me check where is my hand, and no, this is not here, this is the end. Okay, I have to go here. Okay, so for the straight line of the sword, I prefer to change the angle. I'm gonna try to go for this line and keep it a little bit imperfect also. And this one a little bit thicker because it's the external edge of the object. So if you look at mangas, usually the external line for an object, they are a little bit thicker, so it helps to get the visibility. The object is popping out. I think, yes, you double tap on the rotation and it will bring the angle back to its normal original angle. Let me zoom out. Not too perfect, not too perfect. Sometimes we become a little bit like automatic. We are into one repetitive movement for the drawing, and we tend to, we can, if we are not careful, we can lose the like purposefulness of each stroke. It can become a little bit like a repetition, but we don't really choose anymore the kind of strokes we choose to put on paper or not. Here I add some scratches, some used marks. Okay. A little bit more flare into the hair. But let's see. So we stay on the foreground. I'm gonna make a new layer. This one gonna do some grass. Maybe zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Also for grass, sometimes I have to be careful with the repetition. Are we repeating too much the kind of same direction, or here this patch of grass and this patch of grass, are they too similar? See, change a little bit the pattern of the patch of grass. Ah, not good. When we draw grass, it's good to have a few different kind of plant style we can pick from in our strokes drawing plants, whether it's blades of grass or little leaves, little flowers, some seeds. Go back to the character for the back boot. Oh no, maybe not even. I'm gonna leave it blank. More simple. Just do the root going here and here. And do some leaves, flowers, moss kind of pattern. And I need to remember also not to try to fill everything with content. This is one habit that we can tend to develop when we are a bit too used to do like detailed drawings. It tends to fill up too much, to take the whole space. So let's try to get first the main elements we want, and we can choose to add less or a little bit more detail later on. All right. Sometimes also change the shape, like for example this rock here, it was gonna meet the end of the blade of grass, so it would merge and make the perspective a little bit confused. So I prefer to change the shape to bring it a bit different, to a different place. I could do some bugs too, or go back to the character. I want to add some marks also on the knee protection thing. Here also maybe some basic shading just to get a sense of the layers of clothes. And go back to the background. I need to come up with a story for the manga contest, the Kadokawa. It's a 16-page minimum, so I have to come up with an idea for this contest. I'm thinking to do a fantasy. I'd like to do it a little bit funny, a little bit like a Dragon Quest, a little bit shonen, a little bit funky. I think in the beginning of March, I need to have my character design and some of the graphical style nailed down. I need to understand how it's gonna look and what kind of dedication to drawing it will take to make it work, because I feel like drawing a manga is a tricky choice, like what kind of graphical style you go for can be a big handicap if you don't choose properly. If you try to draw something that is beyond your reach, maybe you can draw some characters that look really good, but then some other aspect necessary, like the backgrounds or the buildings or the animals. If you try to do them at the same graphical fidelity or detail, maybe some of the things you realize, I'm not ready to draw that so well. I can draw a character, maybe let's say I can draw a character like this, but can I draw everything else at the same quality? So before I choose the graphical style of the wrong layer, this common mistake, I don't want to mess up, so I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, you have to try to get a style that will be manageable. Whatever you draw, whatever you have to draw, it will be manageable. So it's good to do some trials, some drawings, some sketches of many things you need to draw until you feel like, okay, I can draw like this, it will work. I can manage anything I need to draw with that style, even if I don't know yet everything I'm gonna have to draw, but you have an idea about your capacity to handle it. And also, how do you feel when you draw? Like, can you get into a relaxing, efficient workflow? Like right now, I'm drawing this. I feel no stress from the technical aspect. I don't feel overwhelmed by what I need to manage for drawing. This is within my comfort zone. I need to be a little bit focused, but it's not like pushing me in ways that I'm gonna collapse my capacity. And for long-term project, it's important to, I think, to be able to handle the process without stressing too much. Gonna add a little bit some marks also on the boots, like a leather, old leather. Okay, go back to the background. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, so it's okay. Some little signs here too. I wanted to put the video this weekend, but I got a copyright infringement. It didn't let me publish the video. It was a slideshow of Dragon Quest Your Story animated movie. I wanted to put many images of the movie, so you can look at composition and the colors, the character design, and so on. Okay, here let's check. I don't like this blade of grass. Doesn't look on par with the others. I'm gonna go for a little bit less finished look in the background. Maybe a few more smaller in this. Here is a root. Not finished too much everything. Okay. See, there's a little bit a lack of vegetation here. It feels a bit strange. So I'm trying to add some. And here too. Let's see. Happy Forest kind of I like in the A Knight of the Seven Kingdom how Dunk he liked to find a nice tree to rest with his horses. It's a nice little touch to talk about the personality of the character. He's kind of a simple guy who loves simple things. And we see in one scene in the episode 5 a little bit more of his personality, of his background story through a flashback. And it's interesting slowly get to know the character more. Let's add some here a little bit texture to differentiate the type of layer of clothes it is. You can go into a lot of details. I didn't do it on the proper layer. I did it on the wrong layer, but that's okay. Well, let's not continue anyway to do it on the wrong layer. So this is to give a little bit of depth to the fabric, going on the cape. Here we want to go just here and there a little bit. Okay, now I do a new layer. Gonna hit the background. This is foreground, and this is character, and what is it? Character sketch, okay, and background sketch, okay. Let's see, up. So the sketch is in one layer, character, foreground, background. So the background, it's gonna be this. So let me see. I want to try to get the general feel. So the background, I'm gonna try the technique of having less opacity for the background, and also what kind of stylo texture. So if I lower the opacity, I can still make it black, but let's try. So it's a little bit too skinny. I want the background. I'm gonna use the pencil. Thinner pencil, a little bit more. Okay, that's good. So I want to separate the kind of yeah, very light like this. And then now I do the kind of loose art sketch, finished sketch, kind of to do the background layer. So this way it looks the atmospheric perspective is helped by the fading away of the color for the background. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit approximative, not too detailed. So it's a statue, so let's keep it a little bit not too defined. And I have some random stone placement. So here we have the first stone. So I have some loose idea of how it's going on for the stones. So it has to be a little bit shifting a little bit the steps, not too perfect also. Here some grass. Also on the steps. It's like a old ruin. So it has to be a little bit messy. We have some stones, but the path is a little bit damaged. So there has to be grass also on the path. Otherwise, it's not a ruin, it's too clean. You have to weed, to take out the weeds a lot in reality when you take care of a place with nature. So if it has been abandoned for a while, there will be a lot of wild grass growing all over. And here is yeah, some tall grass. And make it look like the wind has pushed in one direction. For the tall grass, usually, yeah, it has some kind of direction. The wind tends to push it in one way, and then it keeps that bend on that angle. I add a little bit more strength to the line art of the kind of front row of the background. Can do some water lily or something. Not too much, but a little bit. For the live stream, I try to come up with a proper composition, not some just random characters. Okay, continue the grass, the tall grass. And the smaller grass can be a little bit more doing its thing differently than the tall grass. Doing this live stream is a good warming up for the month of March, where I'm gonna try to work on the contest. here the angle is a little bit I have to modify the angle here too, otherwise it will be yeah, try to make it a little bit like the stones are starting to shift. Maybe the arc will collapse at some point. Want to draw everything. Okay, do the edge of the wall. Here I want to make sure I get okay, this I try to get some realistic rocks pieces working together. We don't need to do everything, but give some places where the stone connects enough to make it solid, looking like a proper wall. You can look at how artists they do to how much they draw the walls. Some artists they draw like a very geometric square stone kind of walls. Some mangakas or comics artists they draw just a few stone on the surface and the rest is empty. For me, I'm a little bit in between right now, and I have a more organic look on my rock pattern for the wall. Depends on what kind of architecture culture you want to go for. Like this kind of walls, it can be European or it can be seen also in Japan. It can be seen also in South America, kind of using natural stones, but then just changing a little bit the angle to fit with each other. Whereas some culture like a Greek, Italian, ancient Greece, and Rome, and they tend to build a square shaped stones, walls, and so on. Okay, here I have some stone again, so it has to be also a little bit similar in terms of since the steps and the stone around the steps, they are a little bit more square. I have to be careful that it's not too different from the walls around. I have to keep in mind that they are supposed to match each other. So here is a kind of bird of prey, kind of bird. Okay, so it's fine. Here I did a fish. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I had to come up with some kind of animal. So I choose a fish. Maybe like that. And less detail in the background. And here I have a human figure pointing. So since this is a statue, it has to be even less detailed than the background, because in the drawing this is supposed to be reality within the world of the drawing. So statues within that world of the drawing should be even more synthesized, less detailed, less the style should be a little bit different than the characters and nature around. So you can make the angles a little bit sharper or so on. And here we have another wall, and here I want to be even more simple. It has to work, but I want the feeling of here I need to give a little bit yeah, the angle forced me to show a little bit inside of the perspective of the. So here I want to put less detail. I want to focus just on the silhouette of the wall and make it. I saw some videos of ruins in Japan also, with a lot of moss on the old stones. There is also videos. There is I think she's a Chinese YouTuber who explore old places in China. It's really cool. Some very traditional places that are left to like decay, kind of. And it's both very romantic, very magical, but also very kind of sad. It's like deserted village in Spain, or there are places where people have left for so long that there were a whole village like 50 years ago or 70 years ago, and now it's like gone. It's like everybody left. So it's very special feel when you go to these places and you see how nature uh, reinvest the place, like trees grow into old houses, roofs they collapse, everything decay, the structure of the house they fall apart, and then nature comes back. You have trees growing and wild animals passing by and so on. It's kind of cool. Okay, this wall is okay. I can put a little bit trace within the grass. So here I put some like old beams. Another beam here. I need to train to draw beautiful trees. This is like if you draw only cool characters, anime characters, or your favorite manga or comics character, you neglect to learn to draw like trees, for example. Then when you have to draw a tree, suddenly you realize, oh my god, I never draw a tree. So it's good to not to wait too long before you push yourself to not just draw what you want, but to also combine drawing what you like to draw, what you want to draw, what is cool, what is like funky and impress your friends or make you feel good, but also drawing things that are just general, but that will come at some point as a necessity to know to some extent to draw it. Yeah, I try to make a little bit different branches. This could be a similar tree here, similar branch pattern. This is also a part where repetition can come for patterns of brushes, branches. So it can be useful, but it could also be tricky. Here also we want to be not to like each leaf at a time, but several. Just a suggesting rather than drawing everything. Can draw some patches of leaves in the background, also some just silhouette of bushes. Here we have some fallen rocks, so we want also just to have a suggestion, not to and here also some leaves. Ah, this one I don't like. Okay. Maybe some mild water effects. Some little insects flying and buzzing around the water. Okay. So this is where we are now. We have it's okay, not too bad. Maybe I stop here for today. So if you are on the live stream, thanks for watching. And if you watch later, and you can put a comment, something if you want to see some live drawings, and if later we do more and more people come and participate in the chat, then it will be interesting, it will be nice to try. Okay, let's save. I'm gonna end the stream now, so see you guys later.